All right, we've talked about the best and the worst. Now we look forward to 2024. Today I'm giving you 10 movies that you need to be on the lookout for. Let's do it. What's up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. If you want to follow my journey this year as we watch movies and TV shows and Netflix things and all the streaming platforms, it's going to be a busy year. Be sure to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed the video. But now we look forward to the future. It's going to be a lot of craziness this year. Movies, that should help. You guys like my Air shirt? Representing one of the best movies of last year. Let's move on. And don't worry, my best TV shows of 2023 and my most anticipated, that's coming a little later this week. But now we're going to focus on the films. As always, I got a lot of honorable mentions. If I miss one and you don't hear it, please let me know down below. There are a lot of smaller movies that I'm sure are going to make my top 10 at the end of the year that I've never heard of. That's usually how it goes. My honorable mentions are Maxine, the third movie in a very distinct trilogy, The Karate Kid. I have no clue what this is going to be, but seeing those two actors reunite is really cool in the teaser. If John Krasinski, Ryan Reynolds, I don't know if it's going to be good, but it could be magical. Godzilla vs. Kong. I hope it's close to the level that Godzilla -1 was. We'll see. Alien Romulus. The thing that gives me hope here is it's directed by Fede Alvarez. That is interesting for me. They follow the sequel to It Follows. Kung Fu Panda 4, I didn't love the teaser, but I do enjoy these movies quite a bit. Wicked Part 1. You're looking at a guy who knows nothing about this. Let's see how it goes. Sonic 3. The first two movies are fun. I'm interested to see if Jim Carrey actually returns here. Transformers 1, an animated prequel. This is what I want to see from this world. Inside Out 2, the sequel to one of my favorite Pixar movies of all time. I love Kevin Costner in a Western setting. He's directing Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 this year. Well, that's why you get the same poster back to back there. Let's see how that goes. Ballerina. Ana de Armas, in the world of John Wick. You stay in that world, you're going to get me excited. Challengers. Go watch that trailer. Luca Guadagnino, a fantastic cast. How about Hitman? Glenn Powell, Richard Linklater. I was hoping this would have came out last year, but it didn't. All right. This is going to freak a lot of people out. No, Jordan Peele's new movie's not in my top 10. That's because I have no clue what it is. I'm the kind of guy that has to see a teaser or at least have a little information. Once we get that, it'll probably be in my top 10. The Bike Riders. A movie I was really hoping to see this year. It kept getting moved. Well, this is finally an opportunity to see Tom Hardy and Austin Butler in a movie together. Fall Guy, directed by David Leitch, starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. This could be a great time in the theater. And finally, a Lord of the Rings animated prequel, anime style. If you look into this project, it will get you excited, unless you don't care about Lord of the Rings in that case. What's wrong with you? Start off in one of my favorite franchises right now, A Quiet Place, Day 1. Now, we got a flashback in A Quiet Place Part 2, and that was pretty cool to see with John Krasinski and his family, but it looks like we're getting a new family here. There's a new filmmaker, and I like the idea of a fresh style with every spinoff that we're going to get. I find this cast interesting. Joseph Quinn, Alex Wolff, Jaimon Hansu, and Lupita Nyong'o. I have no clue where this is going to go, but the premise and knowing about this world, now having a different director, kind of taking the reins from John Krasinski, this has a lot of potential to be fantastic. It could fall flat, for sure, but I want to see Day 1. Gladiator Part 2, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Paul Mescal. Now, Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. This feels low, but the thing is, I don't really know about the plot. All I know is it's the son of Russell Crowe's character, and he's played by Paul Mescal. And if you put the two kind of next to each other, I'm like, yeah, I could see him being his son. Now, originally, we had a bit of a different cast. A couple of people dropped out, but I love the cast that we have now. Joseph Quinn getting an opportunity to show what he's made of. Denzel Washington playing a huge role in this movie, and I'm just excited to see the journey. Again, I have no clue what this is going to be other than a sequel to one of my favorite movies of all time. Ridley Scott. Take us on a journey, man. Is it going to be like good Ridley Scott or mediocre Ridley Scott? I don't know. Let's see. Joker. Folie à deux.
Move this man!
I'm not going to pretend I know how to pronounce that, and even if I thought I did, I would inevitably wrong, and you guys would tell me that. So, Joker 2. It's a musical. Joaquin Phoenix is back. Lady Gaga's in this movie as Harley Quinn. And I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you. This would have been higher, because I'm a really big fan of the Taxi Driver ripoff. I don't care. I like the first one quite a bit. So when a sequel was announced, I said, hey, it works as a good standalone, but let's see what you can do with this character. It's a super villain, so obviously a sequel doesn't bother me too much, but it's a full-on musical, apparently, according to the people involved. Now, director's returning, Joaquin Phoenix is returning. I do like the idea of casting Lady Gaga and making it a musical. That's cool. Why did that vent just turn on? But how different is this going to be compared to the first one? I appreciate the creativity behind making it a different type of movie, but don't stray too far from what I loved about the first. I loved it. Next up, Robert Eggers returns with Bill Skarsgård, Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson in what SpongeBob referred to as Nosferatu. You have a terrifying vampire who's infatuated with a young woman. This is directed by Robert Eggers. He thrives in this territory. With a movie like Nosferatu, to see what he's able to do with it has me salivating. This is the most interesting horror gothic movie that I've heard about in so long. I love the cast, and then the cherry on top is Willem Dafoe's back, and he's pairing with Robert Eggers one more time. And again, please give this to me now.
Come on, do it now!
You know, before I made this list, I'm like, Deadpool 3 is definitely going to be a top 3 most anticipated movie for me, and it's close. I need to see a teaser or a trailer or something to make sure that Disney's not taking this concept and ruining it. I get it. It's going to be R-rated. That's awesome, but there's still a possibility that it strays too far away from what we really loved about the first Deadpool, and I liked a lot about Deadpool 2. Keep it consistent with that. I know there's another director, but this is a director who's very familiar with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. So that pairing should be amazing. This movie should be one of the best comic book movies of the last several years. Is it going to be that? For some reason, I have a little bit of hesitation, but that doesn't mean I'm not really looking forward to it. Who knows? I see the trailer, maybe it moves to number 1. I'm a mess. I don't know what to tell you. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes drops mic. I don't want to drop this mic. It's old. Directed by Wes Ball from the Maze Runner movies. Now, that's cool. I don't love those films, but I really like some of them. So that kind of gets me in the mood of knowing how to establish a world. Well, this one's already established, right? How to reestablish a world, apparently hundreds of years later. Now, it did scare me when they came out and said the new character's not familiar with Caesar. I'm like, Caesar should be like your dude. Everyone should know about Caesar until everyone dies. Come on. But the apes are finally in charge. They're the dominant species on planet Earth. This is what we've been building to through the first 3 films. Now we're skipping time, and we're going to have to get to know new characters and how the world has changed and how much it has changed. I think Wes Ball can do it. The writers make me a little worried, but it's like this material is just so good, and you have a template with the other 3 films. Now, I get it. Matt Reeves is not coming back for this, but I still can't wait to see it, man. I love Planet of the Apes, the new ones. Adam Sandler on Netflix. Austin, that's usually a terrible pairing. Why is this in your most anticipated? Well, he's paired with Carey Mulligan and Paul Dano in this film. This is Spaceman. You have an astronaut who's collecting ancient dust, and this shadowy creature works his way onto his ship. That is all we know, but we got a teaser recently, and that teaser gave me this eerie, like haunting feeling that this could be yet another Adam Sandler performance that people are talking about, and a film that hopefully feels like original sci-fi. Though it's also the director of Chernobyl, which is, if you've never seen Chernobyl, it's one of the best limited series of all time. It's absolutely fantastic, maybe perfect, and that person, that man, is now directing Adam Sandler in an original sci-fi film called Spaceman. I love everything about this. I know this is high. I do not care. It should be higher. Daggone it.
What is wrong with you?
What a day. What a lovely day to talk about Furiosa. Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, George Miller. This is a furious-looking movie. Now, I know a lot of people saw that trailer. Listen, I really enjoyed the trailer. I get the criticism that it looks a little more vivid than Fury Road. It doesn't quite have that gritty aesthetic to it that I thoroughly enjoyed about the previous film. Now, that's something that can change, obviously. I don't think it will. But there's also questions about the CGI in this movie. Maybe the fact that they're leaning a little too heavy into it. I get all that. I understand. But this trailer is epic. I am so excited to dive back into this world. This is George Miller's masterclass, the world that he created. And Fury Road is his masterpiece. So to follow that up is scary. To make it a prequel is maybe even scarier. And for these characters to try to capture what they gave us in their older age is the scariest. Now, I love seeing Chris Hemsworth as a villain. That's really cool. Anya Taylor-Joy, don't know too much about how she'll capture Charlize Theron's character, but it looks pretty spot on so far. Just give me something close to the originality and creativity of Fury Road, and I'll be a happy camper. If not, I'll be devastated.
No, don't like that.
Mickey 17. Now, this isn't, Steamboat Willie's Rights just became available. This is not that Mickey Mouse. I get it. A lot of people are jumping onto that. This is not that. Gosh, Mickey, there's 17 of you. Mickey 17 is an expendable employee on a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world of Niflheim. After one iteration dies, his new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. There's the premise. Got a little teaser. Didn't show us too much, but here's what's cool about this film, right? Original sci-fi, great. Mickey 17, cool name. How about Bong Joon-ho, who just brought us Parasite a few years ago? And yeah, that's one of the best movies of the century so far. Bong Joon-ho is on fire right now, movie after movie after movie, and he's working with Robert Pattinson. That is a pairing, a marriage that I didn't know I needed until it was announced, and I lost my freaking mind, man. I can't wait for this film. That could be a cool, creative, awesome, Arrival type, down-to-earth, gritty sci-fi movie, or it could be like an Oscar contender. It could be both. All right, folks, wanted to pause, take a few seconds, and say linked in the description down below is my updated Amazon storefront. I've had a lot of questions lately. Austin, what do you use for your YouTube channel? How can I get started? Well, really, you can get started with the phone, but I've listed a lot of options in that storefront. Follow the link down below to let you all know exactly what I use. Again, just a small part of my journey, but now you know. Thanks for the support. Let's keep going. Let's try this again, everyone. And I don't care. I'm putting it on here because I refuse to back down after talking about it multiple times on multiple lists, but it keeps getting moved, and Austin is sad.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I have been looking forward to this since the credits rolled the first time I watched Dune Part 1 in New York City, and it just hasn't. Where is it at? Hey, everybody, it's coming out. Nope. Oh, look, it's coming out November. Nope. Got moved again. Okay. March? Hello? I don't know. It may move. A lot of these movies on this list may move because you never know what's going to happen. I thought the whole pandemic thing was over, and then this year the strikes happened and movies got moved, and I understand why Dune moved. I get it. But you can't tell me that November rolled around and you're just sitting back like, I'm fine. I'm not watching Dune right now. What is that? Look, I just rewatched Dune with my wife. She loved it, even watching it on a smaller screen. It is an experience. It really is. And the more I watch it, the more I kind of resonate with the characters. That was my one disconnect the first time watching Dune, is I didn't fully get invested like I wanted to, but I was overwhelmed by the atmosphere and the filmmaking and the production and just how interesting these characters are. But now I'm forming that emotional connection, that attachment that's going to get me locked into Dune Part 2. And I have the book.
Oh, good for you.
I have read the book. I have finished the book. I am ready. I was ready for November, but we saw what happened. So what's your list? Do you want to see a list of TV shows? I've got a lot of TV shows on my brain that I would love to talk about. First off, I have to do my best shows of the year, my best Netflix shows of the year, and then we can get into most anticipated. We've got plenty of time to do that in January. It's going to be a special year, I guarantee you that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go wake my daughter up. She's sleeping. It's so cute. I got the monitor on. She's adorable. See you soon.